What's up YouTube? Greetings and salutations and welcome back to my channel. This is my first, I guess, official video other than my intro video. And what I thought I would do was kind of talk about something that I have personally worked with over many years, which is the chakras. So I actually have done a lot of study on the chakras. As a yoga teacher, it's something that I work with a lot. In my own personal spiritual path and practice, it's something that I've kind of worked on a lot. I even wrote a very small ebook as an introduction to the chakras. So what I'm going to do is do a series of videos on the chakras. This first one will just be kind of an introduction. Just an overall introduction of what the chakras are, if you're not familiar with them. This will kind of give you just a little bit of information. Then I'm going to do an individual video to follow up on each individual chakra. So if you're interested in all of them, you can go ahead and check them all out as I upload them. I'll probably do one a week, so it'll be over the next couple of weeks that I will get them uploaded. Or if you're interested in particularly knowing a little bit more about a specific chakra, say the root chakra, then you could just check out that video. So this first video was just going to be an introduction to the chakras. So let's get started. So if you watched my intro video, you'll know that I do have a very eclectic kind of path, spiritual path, and just different experiences that I've had over my life that have kind of led me to where I am now. And I don't follow one specific path. I kind of pick and choose. And I just do the things that really kind of resonate for me. And over a decade ago, I kind of chose to go more on this healing path. So I started doing more yoga, becoming a little bit more spiritual. I was getting a little bit more interested in things like meditation, working with gems and crystals. And through all of that, I've kind of discovered the chakras. I also tend to like to study different religions, particularly Hinduism and Buddhism, and the chakras are both kind of featured in those religions. So once I kind of just, learned a little bit more about what the chakras were, over the past 10 years or so, I've really kind of dedicated myself to really studying them. Kind of how they help other people, but at the same time for my own personal kind of practice and my own personal, well-being, how the chakras have played into that. So through my regular yoga practice, becoming a Reiki, certified Reiki healer, and working through meditation and Reiki, that's kind of, I focused more on the chakras. And it was kind of at that time that I realized, some of the things that I was holding on to from my past were kind of centered in certain chakra areas. And once you start to learn more about the chakras, you'll know how they affect the body, both physically, mentally, emotionally, like how they can affect you. So a lot of the kind of, quote unquote issues that I had, I found were coming from past kind of hurt or things that I was holding on to that were affecting those chakras. Once I was able to kind of do a little bit more work on those individual chakras, I was kind of able to release a lot of the stuff that I was holding on that wasn't really serving me anymore. So that's kind of a great thing once you start studying the chakras and learning about the chakras, that you will kind of pick up, and you'll have this kind of moment where things will click. And I think once you kind of work on clearing any blockages in these individual chakras, you're kind of opening yourself up to something greater. I think you become lighter emotionally, spiritually, physically. You are able to kind of have this greater connection to the divine. You start to have a greater connection to like the greater consciousness. Just working with the chakras in all of these ways, it's kind of amazing how everything kind of clicks in place. And although I will be talking about physical ailments and how the chakras affect the body physically and can help and sometimes bring up different illnesses and diseases, by no means is this meant to be any kind of medical advice. I just want to put that message out there. So if you are having kind of any physical ailments, illness, diseases, or any problems with your body, please see a doctor. the chakras are meant to kind of work in conjunction with traditional medicine. And for the sake of this video, I'm just going to go over the 7 main chakras. There are hundreds, some even say thousands, but we're going to focus on the main 7. So what exactly is a chakra? So as I mentioned before, the chakras are found mostly in the Hinduism, Buddhism, yogic and tantric teachings and spiritual paths or religions. So the chakras are different points in our body where prana or our life force kind of flow through. And as we go through the 7 main chakras, you'll see how they kind of run right up the middle of the spinal cord. And in these teachings, running along your spinal cord is what is called the Sushumna channel. Or tunnel. And what this is where the prana or the life force flows. And as it flows through this channel, it's hitting these 7 major chakra points. So in Sanskrit, the word chakra literally translates to wheel. And that is often how we view the chakras. So sometimes they are seen as like a wheel or an orb of light. And as we get through each individual chakra, you'll realize each one has its own color. So sometimes they're seen as an orb of light. Sometimes they're seen as a wheel. Sometimes they're seen as a flower. And then each chakra has its own different amount of petals on that flower. So there's different ways of kind of looking at the chakras. And if you do any kind of guided meditations or visual meditations, it kind of depends on how you see the chakras, really like how you interpret them. Me, sometimes I see them as an orb of color, or I actually see them almost as like a fan, because the orbs do spin and they do have color. There's movement to them. And as they move, they're kind of radiating out this energy. At the same time that they're radiating out energy, they're kind of absorbing energy into the subtle body from outside. So from the environment, from people that you're near. So me, I sometimes see them as like a spinning fan. So like for the root chakra, its color is red. So to me, it looks like a fan that's red in color that spins, and then out from the center of that fan will radiate this red light. And as I mentioned, the chakras can be affected by the energy that we receive from the outside world. And think about that like when you walk into a room, you can kind of almost immediately get a sense of the vibe of the room. Or sometimes if you're with a certain person and they kind of affect you a certain way, or they remind you of somebody that affected you a certain way. Sometimes that is our intuition coming into play, or all these other things that we have going on. But sometimes it is the chakras, especially if you meet somebody and something kind of comes up for you that's not related to that person. That could be you're picking up energy from them and it's being filtered through the chakras and through the subtle body. And literally every experience or event that we have in our life is kind of recorded in the cells of our body. They recorded in the chakras. And this can affect our lives in many different ways: mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, as I mentioned before. So this energy that we're taking in through the chakras, depending on how it affects the chakras and how the chakras hold on or retain that information, or how we kind of move the energy or information through our body, it can have an effect on us, especially physically. And as we get through each individual chakra, you'll kind of see how that happens. So our goal in working with the chakras is to kind of help heal them, balance them out, and kind of open them up. So a lot of times if there's like a blockage in a chakra or something that's kind of affecting the chakra in an adverse way, you may see the chakra through like meditation or in your body or by using Reiki, kind of not functioning properly. So a healthy functioning chakra will be open, the color will be bright, with no kind of blemishes or dark spots on it, and it will be spinning in a clockwise manner at a very kind of moderate pace. So let's say with the root chakra, if you have any kind of issues in your root chakra and you're doing any kind of Reiki or meditation and you're looking at that chakra, if you see it spinning really crazy counterclockwise and it looks blotchy with dark shadows on it, there's definitely something going on there where you'd have to work to help heal, clear, and kind of open up this chakra to bring it back to a healthy state. So as we work up through the chakras, it helps us to lead a healthier and happy life, and it helps us to become a little bit more awake and aware and kind of connecting to the divine and that greater consciousness. So that is just kind of a quick introduction to the chakras. We'll get more in depth as we go through each individual one. You'll learn a little bit more. So included with each individual chakra, I will talk about different things that can kind of help to balance those chakras. So things we can do in our environment, different crystals or stones that you can use, different herbs or essential oils you can use. Even certain types of foods that you eat can help to positively or negatively affect the chakra. Things that you do in your environment, in your home, where you work, the people that you're around with, all of that will affect. So for each chakra, we'll talk a little bit about those things, as well as there will be kind of a guided meditation. I'll give you some mantras and affirmations that you can use to kind of balance those. So once you go through and you kind of realize where you have those imbalances, you start to bring all these things into your life, into your being, and that will kind of help to help heal and balance these chakras. So I hope you guys are kind of interested in learning a little bit more about the chakras. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll know when I post the other videos on the chakras. The first one, which we will be posting next week or maybe later this week, will be the root chakra. And then if you guys are interested in following me on social media, I love connecting with people. So I'll post those links below. You can follow my blog, or you can follow me on Instagram. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video, and be well.